So, BT class 8, uh, we are going to revise chapter 1 of history, that is how, when, and where. So, this is a revision class. So, let us revise how important are dates. But whenever we talk about history, that most of the people they think about that this is all about dates, and we have to memorize dates. So, in history, we are not to memorize all the dates, all the years, but some important dates we people keep in mind, like here, see. So, some historical uh, instances are given here. Like if I talk about one fine day when tea was started using in India, so there's not one single day. It takes a lot of time, a longer time to develop a taste for tea in Indian people, and then it has been started as a uh, in daily routine. So there is not one fine date for the starting of it. So then we see when we associate history with a string of dates, then we this association has a reason that there was a time when history was an account of battles, big events. It was about rulers and their policies. Historians wrote about the year of a king was crowned, the year he married, the year he had a child, the year he fought a particular war, the year he died, and then the year the next ruler succeeded to the throne. So, for events such as these, specific dates can be determined, and in history, such as these, debates all about dates continue to be important. So let us see which dates. Like if we talk about the British rule in India, then the tenure of all the governor general uh, was important. But when we talk about dates or important events, then we talk about only the first governor general and the last one. So this is the way how we take the dates. Like here, so this is some of the instances related to the uh, these viceroys or governor generals of India. Then we, how do we periodize? If we want to periodize our history, what should be the criteria? James Mill, a Scottish economist and political philosopher, he published a massive, a very big 3-volume work or book, A History of British India. And in this book, he divided the Indian history into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. And this periodization was widely accepted. So, uh, but even then, we find many disputes or many conflicts or many opposite views related to this periodization. Why? Because so first of all, when we periodize, when there is a there is a dividing point, means a margin from where the next period starts. And Mill, he thought that the Indian societies they were of lower standard, and it was the duty of the Europeans to civilize them. According to his telling of history, before the British came to India, Hindu and Muslim rulers they ruled the country. The people they were intolerant to other religions. There were caste system in India, and the people they were very superstitious, and the social life of Indian that was disturbed. So Mill felt that the British or the Europeans they can civilize the Indians. So to do this, he wanted to introduce in India the European type of education, the European manners, arts, institutions, and laws in India. So, Mill suggested that the British should conquer all the territories in India to ensure the enlightenment and happiness of the Indian people. Because India, according to him, the India was not able at the time. India was not able to civilize its herself at the time. So in this idea of history, the British rule represented all the forces of progress, civilization, and the period before British, and that was considered the period of darkness, ignorance. So, if, in any case, we can refer to any period of history as Hindu or Muslim. So, when we periodize this, this is not a right kind of periodization. Why? Because if the ruler is a Hindu, it doesn't mean that some other religions were not there at the same time. Some other religious beliefs were also practiced in the society. So dividing the history on the basis of the faith or the religion of the king only, it is not right, because it means that we are ignoring the religious beliefs, the interests of the common people, the feelings of the common people. So there is a kind of flaws related to the this division of the history. Then what is colonial? When one country conquer the territories of another country, then there are some kind of changes in the history, the people, the culture, the taste of the people, their dressing sense, their manners, their etiquette, their education. So there is complete change in the political scenario, economic and social life, the cultural life of the people. Then this process is called yeah, or we can say it colonization, means the subjugation of one country um, by the other, and bringing some kind of changes, some political, economic, social, or cultural changes. This refers to the process of colonization. I think this is clear. Then how do we know? So how do we come to know the history of the past? So we come to know about the resources which we have in our archives, in the libraries. So the British, it was British who realized that every document, every information is required to be written beautifully and kept safely in the libraries or in the archives, because these reports or this information can be used in the future whenever it is required. So they started keeping the records. So it was British who first introduced the system of writing and keeping the records safely. So the see here, one more question we have written from here also. The National Archives of India came up in the 1920s. So along with the offices of the officials like tehsildar, there were archives where all the records were kept safely. Then comes surveys. So why surveys were important? Because the British thought that the practice of surveying, it was important, because before starting ruling a country, they wanted to know the territories, the type of topography of the area, what kind of crops are grown in the area, how much the soil, the fertility of the soil, so the flora, fauna, so everything they wanted to know. So they set of many survey teams, and surveyed the different parts of the country in order to have a clear idea related to the uh, geography and the culture, topography of the country. So what official records do not tell us? Official records tell us about the political scenario of the country, but there are many things which we do not come to know from these official records. That is the life of the common people, what kind of life the common people were living, their tastes, their interests, the hardships of their lives. We don't come to know about the life of the common people. We come to know about the life of the common people from the histories, biographies written by different writers, from the travelogues, means the writings of the travelers who came into India, from the booklets from the popular magazines or newspapers in the vernacular languages. So from these resources we come to know about the life of the common people. Beta, this is a short summary of the chapter 1 of history, and if you have any question or query you can discuss with me in the class. So have a nice day.